What's up guys, Tony Hannity's here from Lazy Tech TV, and for the past few years HTC's definitely had a number of ups but also a number of downs. And in the mobile phone arena, we've been really waiting for a killer flagship phone from them, and the last two just unfortunately, in my opinion, did not cut it. But fast forward to 2016, we finally got one that has, in my opinion, made the grade. This is the HTC 10. Stay tuned. Now, instead of doing a standard review where I talk about every single spec and talk about the ins and the outs and the chamfered edges and everything, I thought it better that I do something a little bit different, what I call 5 things I love and 5 things I hate. So, number 1, great build quality. This thing is solid. It's all metal unibody. There's no removable battery, but you do have removable memory up to 2 terabytes and a micro SD card. Really beautiful chamfered edges, and that was one of the big things about this phone. Regarding the chamfered edges, there's not a phone out there that has so much chamfering. The idea behind the chamfered edges makes it a little bit easier for you to hold while gripping it. I'm a guy that usually puts a case on the phone, so in reality, on a normal day-to-day basis, I wouldn't normally feel this, but I haven't been using a case for this phone for the past couple of weeks, and for that time frame, I haven't dropped it, which is good, knock on wood. Also, it feels really nice in the hand. It's weighted very well. It doesn't feel too lopsided. I mean, overall, this is a very, very beautiful phone. And I just realized, holy hell, what's that guy doing here? Number 2, the camera. Now, when it comes to this camera, there's 2 things about the HTC 10 that's pretty amazing. First off, there's OIS, not only in the rear camera, but also in the front camera. This is the first phone to actually support that in at least the United States arena in their flagship phones. And when it comes to this guy, when you're taking your selfies, doing your Snapchats, or whatever else that you use the front-facing camera for, especially with the stock camera application in low light, it's not that big of a deal versus something like the G4, obviously the Nexus 6, and some of the other flagship devices that are out there. And when it comes to the rear camera, you've got laser autofocus, you've got 1.8 aperture, you've got a wide-angle lens, it's an 80-degree wide-angle lens, auto HDR support, 4K support, hyperlapse, you got slow mode. I mean, there's a lot of ability within the stock camera applications, and I get some of it's a little software and you can download other apps to do it, but you don't have to because it's all there. In my own anecdotal experience with the other cameras, I've got to say I really do like the Samsung Galaxy S7 camera, but talking specifically from HTC phone to HTC phone, this is by far one of the best, if not the best, quality cameras that they have produced. Number 3, sound quality. I listen to a ton of music on my phone, whether I'm working out, driving. There's also podcasts, and I've mentioned that before. But one thing is very important to me is the use of the headphone. I don't have Bluetooth in the car, and although the speaker system in the car also is adequate, the headphone component in the HTC 10 actually has a 24-bit DAC. What does that mean to you non-audiophiles out there? Well, better audio quality when you have something plugged into it versus that of an iPhone, Galaxy S7, what have you. But HTC has been probably best known for their boom sound, and originally with Beats Audio, and then they kind of just made it their own, they had front-facing speakers, and I love that. But with the HTC 10, you don't really have front-facing speakers, but what you do have are your, I guess, highs in the top speaker here, and then your mids and lows in the bottom speaker here. It's not as good as the boom sound, granted, but it is still one of the things I really like about it. I use this side by side to me when I'm just walking around the house and I don't have headphones on, and the sound is still very clear. And one thing that's really nice about it is when I'm in a conference call, you've seen people talk to a phone like this in a conference call. Like this, like they have to force the microphone toward them. Well, now if you do, the speaker's right there as well too, so you don't have to do this. You know, no more juggling. You just keep it like that and you're good. In fact, here's what it kind of sounds like through the camera's microphone, so bear with me. It's not the greatest, but you get an idea. Number 4, fingerprint sensor. There's so many phones out there that have fingerprint sensors that by now mentioning there's a fingerprint sensor is no longer a big woohoo. It's just like, well, why wouldn't you not? So biometric scanning to unlock the phone as well as unlock particular applications and type in passwords. Hugely huge and very, very fast. I've used the fingerprint sensor on the iPhone, on Samsung Galaxies, on the OnePlus 2. They're all very okay and good in their own right. This is quick. This is super quick. And just like the other ones, you could apply any fingerprint that you want. I believe it's up to 5 fingers that it can store in its memory banks, and it's all encrypted and whatnot. So for the most part, you shouldn't have to worry about it unless you lose your phone, and that's another story. But yeah, very, very fast fingerprint sensor. And then finally, number 5, it is very quick. This is 4 gigabytes of RAM, the brand new Snapdragon 820 processor. And so when you're doing multiple applications at the same time, you're switching between the applications, you don't experience the hiccup, you don't experience the lag or the slowdown. One of the things that I do for my other business is I take pictures of something really quickly, then switch over to Snapseed real quick, and then go over to Instagram real quick, and then make sure I have the watermark done real quick. So a lot of things need to be done real quick. The HTC 10 can definitely support all of that. 5 things that I did hate. The light proximity sensor. Here's the thing. When you're in a phone call and you have it by your ear, because yes, I do use this to make phone calls, you don't want to hang up on people. And that seems kind of trivial. But the thing is, the light proximity sensor on this phone, when you're in a call, if you just lower it a little bit, the light proximity sensor thinks you've removed it from your head, turns the screen on, and then inadvertently your chin or your jaw can hit the end button on the phone call, and thusly you have hung up on your dad multiple times in 30 seconds. This happened to me twice. Number 2, the battery life. We've got a 3000 milliamp battery on here, and it's supposed to last all day, but in my book of references, it does not. Now, mind you, I'm a power user, and as I explained before, I'm taking pictures and uploading and editing and things like that. I get it. But 3000 milliamps should definitely last longer than what I'm experiencing. And in addition to that, not only am I experiencing low battery life, I'm also experiencing the phone to get hot, like real hot, like 8-10 hot. This has happened to me so many times. Well, okay, maybe 4 or 5 times, but this has happened to me enough to which it will tell me, hey, the phone needs a timeout. So during this timeout, we're going to stop certain things. We're going to stop auto syncing. We're going to dim the brightness. We're gonna make the phone overall a little bit slower so the phone can cool down. I've never seen that, and I get it. I guess to a certain degree they were expecting this. It's a little disconcerting when I want to use a flagship phone the way that a flagship phone is supposed to be used, and it already heats up in the palm of my hand after 2-3 hours of that kind of use. And the screen. The screen is gorgeous. I love the way that it looks inside. If you're outside, because of the screen, although it is 2K resolution, 2560 by 1440, because the material of the screen, which is Super LCD 5, Corning Gorilla Glass, it has this curved edge display technology. That's great. But outside in the sun, super difficult to see. And if you've got polarized sunglasses, impossible. You literally have to take off your glasses to be able to see the screen. I would like to see my phone, just saying. That's kind of important to me. But that's it. That's really all that I don't like about the phone. I mean, there's some characteristics in the operating system, like how HTC skins it, but I mean, you could argue just download a launcher, Nova launcher, Google Now launcher, so you can get rid of that argument. One might say, well, Tony, if you don't like the battery life, that's what you have the super quick fast charging from Qualcomm, the fast quick, what's it called? That's why you have Quick Charge 3.0 from Qualcomm, and yes, I get that. I've got 3 USB Type-C cables like everywhere, one in my car and everything. I get that. But it still gets hot. That's not going to take that away. And in fact, when you're using quick charging like that, it's not bad for the battery, but charging it that quickly makes it even hotter. So it's like, I don't know if I should charge it right now, but if I don't charge it, it's gonna die, and then I'm gonna be stuck between a rock and a hard place. So that's an issue that I have. But I've got 5 things that I like and only 3 things that I don't like. And in my book of references, that is really, really good. And so go ahead and try out the HTC 10. Go to your local store, see how it feels, see how it smells, and don't taste it. So let me know what you guys think. If I left anything out there and you thought, I hate this too, and you did not mention it, let me know what that is, and I'll tell you why I actually hated that or I didn't hate that right there in the comment section below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, obviously that's subscribing, Google Plus, we're there, but we're not doing anything, but we're there, and we will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.